So, well, people, very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the day 4 training program hours. I believe everybody settled down, and my audio is quite reaching well. Can somebody confirm me, please? So, am I audible, people?
Yes, you are, Prabhas.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, today we are going to start with the file called corporate case studies, the formulas and functions, which is very essential in our routine life while we are dealing with the spreadsheet application. So, please open that file. And if you remember, we have discussed up to our data visualizations techniques. So today we are going to start with our lookup. The sheet name is called lookup. Okay. Now, can you please confirm this same worksheet is open in front of your screen? All right. So now we are going to discuss first what is VLOOKUP. V stands for vertical. What is VLOOKUP? We are going to discuss. This is one of the essential formula in our routine activities to deal with, to search our records or to reconcile the data and to match or compare two columns. So there are various uses of that. But before proceeding further, I would like to know if at all anybody who doesn't know what is VLOOKUP, please drop me a message in the chat box. Don't know. Anyone who doesn't know what is VLOOKUP? The reason why I'm asking is if you do not know, I can discuss over here. I can start from the scratch. If you know, we can skip the topic. So anyone who doesn't know what is VLOOKUP? Okay. Thanks, Pramod. Appreciate your honest answer. Don't feel shy. No one is inborn intelligent people. People learn from the experience or with the guidance of someone. Thanks, Monica. Thanks for your responses, Sachin, as well. Well, so let us first understand what is VLOOKUP. So V stands for vertical. Basically, when you want to search your records, you have to go for your VLOOKUP formula. So rather just doing that things manually, we can engage the formula called VLOOKUP. Okay. Now let's see how it works. I'll tell you, just watch my screen for a minute, try to understand the concept. Suppose say I want to purchase a new laptop. I have seen a lot of brands around. People are using, my friends, my colleagues. So I have made a list of brands, whichever I know, in a Excel file. And I saved that file. I have inquired with one vendor and I asked for a catalog. So vendor has given a catalog having the brands and rates over there. And taking that catalog, I came back to my workplace. And now my job is I opened that Excel file. Whatever the brands I have listed over here, against of that, I need to populate the rates. And where these rates are going to come from? From the vendor's catalog. So if I need to do the job, forget about Excel. If I need to do the job manually, how will I start? First, I'll be look at my list. What is the first brand? Acer. I will take that. Where I'll check? In the vendor's catalog. Whether Acer is there? Yes. What is the price of Acer? If you look at over here, the Acer price is 22,000. So I'll go back here and I will do an entry of 22,000. Right? Do you agree with me? If you happen to do the job manually, we'll be doing like this. Right, people? Now, Acer we have found out. That's well. Now, what is the next entry? We have next brand, Apple. I will take that. Again, I'll check in the vendor's catalog. Whether Apple is there? Yes. What is the corresponding entry of rate column? 45,000. So I'll get back over here again. I will type it 45,000. So this is how I'll be doing the job manually, and I have to do 10 different times. I have to go for searching the records in the vendor's catalog and I'll be populating the rates if at all if it is available, right? Now the same thing when you ask Excel to do the job, Excel will be taking the help of our VLOOKUP formula. Now let's see how to work out with VLOOKUP. Just see. So as I developed the practice, I told you in day 1 and day 2 as well that always select your range when you want to create a formula for more than one cell. Now, taking equal to, going for VLOOKUP. So V stands for vertical. What it asks me? Lookup value. What is that? Lookup value. So what is the meaning by lookup value? First, we need to understand. The moment we started doing the job manually, what we did, where did you look at? We looked at our list. What is the first brand? Acer. So this Acer, whatever it is nothing but our lookup value. So what is lookup value? Is it clear? I'm going for one by one element to confirm. So in VLOOKUP formula, what is lookup value? Is it clear? So lookup value is nothing but what we have with us to search. So we have Acer to search. Fine, comma. What is the next one? It's called table array. Table array. What is the meaning by table array? The moment we remember, we started doing the job manually, taking Acer, where did you search? We searched in our vendor's catalog. So what is table array? Nothing but we have understood our vendor's catalog. Is it clear? What is our table array? So what is lookup value? We have understood. What is table array? We are clear with that. Now, the moment we have done with our table array, what does it mean? Table array is nothing but where to search our data, in which range, which database, which master data, which summary sheet we need to search our records. That is nothing but our table array, where to search our data. Okay, comma. What is the next one? It is asking column index number. So what is the meaning by column index number? We need to understand. So this is what the place we have to focus. See, when we did the job manually, we never discussed about anything with regard to our column index number. But VLOOKUP is asking something like this. What does it mean? Just say, get one step back. The moment you get one step back, if you notice, our table array, when it is providing the reference, automatically it is applying a maroon color border area to my table array. Whatever the colors we have in this table array section, the same color it is applied as a border to the table area. Now in this table array, in this border area, how many columns we have? So basically two columns. How do you read our data? Always left to right. So what is the leftmost column? Is the brand. And what is the right one? Is the rate. So brand is the first column, rate is the second column in my table array. Now, out of these two, which column data is already with us? We have got brand with us. What we are looking for? We are looking for the rate. Rate is in which column? Rate is in second column. So that is nothing but our column index number 2. So how to read our column index number? Are we clear? Now, comma. What is the next one? Range lookup, true, false, approximate match, exact match. Quite confusing. A lot of things it is asking. And if you remember, the moment we go for our manual work, we have never discussed about something like this, but VLOOKUP is asking like this. So making the things more complex, what I suggest is ignore this completely and ensure that VLOOKUP formula always ends up with 0. So what is the meaning by 0? Let me take you through. See, 0 stands for nothing but one-to-one match or exact match. One-to-one match or exact match. Okay. Now, what is the meaning by one-to-one match or exact match? What exactly you need to match? The column, which is common. Which is common? My brand. Here, Acer, ACER is there. When it will go and search in the catalog, whether Acer is there? Yes. So this is called one-to-one match. Then only the corresponding column number 2, whatever the rate, it will be going to be populated over here. So this is called our one-to-one match or exact match. Okay. Now once we go for this, bracket close, control enter, formula is ready. So this is called our basically the vertical lookup formula. But what is the problem if you look at in case of Dell, Samsung, Toshiba, it doesn't pick up the value. Yes, it doesn't pick up the values. Why is it not there in my vendors catalog? Yes, all are there. Then why only with these three cases it is not taking? Just check. If I go and keep the cursor in my Dell answer and open the formula, can you see? When I copy this formula towards down, this array, table array is also moving down. So technically, though I am looking for Acer or Toshiba, it should start searching from brand ending with 45,000. It should not go beyond that. But this is again the default nature of our Excel range when you select. So you have to do one thing. What is the setup? Anybody? We should go to the range and we should restrict the movement. So how to stop the movement of this range? By hitting F4. So this is what we discussed in our day 1 and day 2 as well. Like day 1, we have gone for data presentation and data aging or date computation. There we have discussed, right? So the same thing. So when I go for F4, immediately $2 symbols are applied. Formula is rectified only with one cell. Need to apply for rest. Control, enter, and see the beauty. With immediate effect, we got our VLOOKUP will be applicable and it will be giving the answer for us, right? So just give it a try and check your VLOOKUP is working for you people. So any element is not clear or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so Vijay has confirmed it is clear for him and he has got the answer. How about others? Any doubt, any queries? Okay, Sachin and Andhra also fine. Yes, Monica, what's your status? Fine. Now VLOOKUP. I believe everybody is clear with our VLOOKUP formula, people. Now, coming to the next, we'll go for our H lookup. H stands for horizontal lookup. Okay. So when you have the data in horizontal format, then instead of VLOOKUP, we have to go for H lookup. Okay. So where to apply VLOOKUP when the data is in vertical format? Where to apply H lookup when the data is in horizontal format? So now take a look. It's the same example. Consider the data what I have selected is nothing but our vendors catalog. This is our vendors catalog about our laptop brands and rates. Now below to that, you could see we have got a data set where only the brands are available. And what we need to do, we need to populate the respective rates corresponding to those brands by looking at our vendors catalog. So this is the place if it is there, since my data is in horizontal format. As I told you, we have developed the practice. First, we'll select the array where you need to design the formula, then equal to H lookup. Rest of logics are same. Whatever you do in VLOOKUP, you have to do it over here H lookup also. There will be a change. In VLOOKUP, you have got column index number. In H lookup, you have got row index number. That's it. No other changes. So here, lookup value. VLOOKUP also asks for lookup value. And what we have discussed, what is the meaning by lookup value? Yep. So what is the meaning by lookup value? I told you, right? What we have with us to search. So in our data, what we have?
The table where we won the data
No, no, no. What
branch.
we have with us. So we have Acer with us to search. So this is our lookup value. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, comma. Coming to the next. Table array. VLOOKUP also asks for table array. HLOOKUP also asks for table array. I told you what is the meaning by table array. Where to search? Where to search? In the master data, in the vendor's catalog. Now, when I define this, when I copy this formula towards right, this array is also going to move right, which I do not want. Though I am looking for Acer or I am looking for Toshiba, it has to always search in this array, what I have selected, right? So for this, when I copy this formula towards right, this range should not move right. And if you do not want this range to move to right, what we need to do? Again, F4. So it's not mandatory or necessary that first we complete the formula. If you get an error, then only you should go and rectify. So when you know this problem is going to come and you are copying this formula towards right or towards down or more than which cell, you must go for this locking system. Well, comma. What is the next one it is asking? The next one it is showing as our row index number. What VLOOKUP was asking? Column index number. Now, row index number, how will I count that? Technically, we have to go one step back, table array. So the border area is nothing but table array. In this border area, how many row items are we are having and how you read your data, always top to bottom. So I have got brand as the first row and rate is the second row. So out of these two, which row data items are already there with us? Brand is already there with us. What we are looking for? We are looking for the rates. So rates in which column? Again, we have got number 2 because brand is column row number 1 and rate is row number 2. So since our rate is there in row number 2 and we are expecting the same, we should go for rates. Well, now, comma. What's the next one? Range lookup. True, false, approximate match, and your entire match, whatever, or exact match over it is coming up. Again, the same thing VLOOKUP was also asking to us. I told you, ignore completely this. And I told you a simple rule. How VLOOKUP ends up with? VLOOKUP ends up with 0. Similarly, HLOOKUP also ends up with 0. And what is the significance of 0? Nothing but making it as one-to-one match or exact match, right? So the same thing we did and bracket close. Formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest. What is the shortcut? Control, enter. And this is how people, when you go for this HLOOKUP formula, how this is going to help us or how to apply this formula, we got a clarity upon the same. So just try this. If at all any questions are coming up, do let me know. So what is VLOOKUP? What is HLOOKUP? I believe this is clear. Yes. So any doubt or queries about VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, people? Anybody? Because when we go for the next level, again, we cannot come back. So whatever your queries right now about VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, this is the time you can ask me. All right. So VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP application between two different Excel sheets, two different Excel files, there has never been a problem. You can apply very comfortably, you can do that. But there are certain rules you have to always keep in your mind whenever you go for application of VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. What are they? Let me take you through. See, rule number one, VLOOKUP says that data has to be in vertical format. So now the question arises, which data is supposed to be in vertical format? See, in our case, the vendor's catalog. So this is nothing but your master data, parent data, anything you name it. This should be in vertical format. Then definitely your VLOOKUP is going to work. Okay. Similarly, HLOOKUP says that data has to be in horizontal format. Then only I can help you. So which data is supposed to be in horizontal format? The data again, which is given by the vendor or the master data, should be in horizontal format. So this is what the first rule of our VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Now, coming to the next, rule number two. VLOOKUP says that there should not be any duplicate data in our vendor's catalog. So VC, I'm writing shortly. VC stands for vendor's catalog. Okay. So if this is the case, then what does it mean? Let's have a look. If you go for our vendor's catalog, okay, when the vendor is giving the catalog to us in the brand column, there should not be any duplicate. In the brand column, there should not be any duplicate. In rate column, maybe duplicate, no problem. In our list brand column, maybe duplicate, no issues. But, okay. So here, now, just take a look. If at all, now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, what if I am not sure there is a duplicate or not? If at all duplicate is there, what is going to happen? If at all duplicate is there in the brand column, when the vendor has given me the catalog, then VLOOKUP will always pick the first value. This is the default rule because VLOOKUP works only with the unique data entry. So whatever it comes in the beginning or the first time appearance, Excel is going to treat that as a unique data, right? Similarly, same rule goes for our HLOOKUP also. There should not be any duplicate. Where in the master data over here, again the brand row item should not contain any duplicate. Okay. Now, rule number three, VLOOKUP says that the data flow has to be always left to right. Data flow has to be always left to right. So what does it mean by data flow has to be always left to right? Just see. If I'm looking for VLOOKUP over here, right? So in my vendor's case, whatever the vendor has given the data, suppose he has not given something like this. He has given having the rate over here in this format. So VLOOKUP doesn't have the power to read the data from right to left. All right. And it's not mandatory over here that red column has to be immediate right to the brand. It can be like this also, but red column always needs to be there after brand. So while selecting the data, anything before your brand you should not select, and anything after red you should select. Now once this is done over here, we'll go for our horizontal format. HLOOKUP data flow has to be always top to bottom. Okay, so what is the meaning by top to bottom? See, suppose say the vendor has given the catalog in this format. HLOOKUP cannot read our data from bottom to top. So this is the reason why rule number 3 for HLOOKUP says that the data flow has to be top to bottom. So these are the three very essential rules you have to always keep in your mind whenever you go for application of our HLOOKUP or VLOOKUP, anything. Okay, I'm copying and pasting the same in the chart box. Ensure all the rules are clear. Any doubt, any queries? Fine then. So now we are going to make one level up. Can I? So can I take that? Now we all are in equal page. We have all understood what is VLOOKUP, what is HLOOKUP, where to apply, what are the rules. We are clear with that. So can we go for one level up? All right. Now we'll go for our next worksheet, naming called VLOOKUP approximate match. Okay. This is one of the very beautiful information, people. And technically, this has been a mystery for quite long for us. Because when we have learned VLOOKUP, always people teach us, or the people whom you have learned with, they say, forget about the VLOOKUP, whatever the last entry, but ensure that VLOOKUP ends with 0. Blindly go for 0. Then what is the purpose of 0? To make it happen as one-to-one match or exact match. Then if you ask a question, if it is not happening one-to-one match or exact match, what is the option we have? Well, there is an option called approximate match. But here, this approximate match has a different meaning. So we believe approximate match could be, suppose Acer is there, A, C, E, partially the characters are matching, or 2, 3 characters of the first string is still matching, then we can go for this. But that is not a meaning exactly in the Excel language. It has a different meaning. What is that? I'll tell you. The moment your data is not having a one-to-one match, it's a falling in a range, then you have to use the formula called our VLOOKUP with approximate. So much. So what is the meaning by falling in the range? Just see. We have a very beautiful example. It will be more clear when we go and discuss. Employee name is there. Rating of those employees, we have got it. We need to identify the grades. So what would be the grade of those employees? We need to find out that. Now, management has given a circular based on the ratings. What should be the grade? It is already predefined. Now, if I want to take this and populate my grade column over here, what will be the grade for the first case? 3.5 is the rating. What should be the grade? Anybody? Should be D. If it is of 3.9, what should be the grade? If it is 3.9, should be C, right? So this is how we need to populate the grade column. So now the question is how to do that. Can somebody give me some idea? Yes, Anirudh, what's your opinion? These are the real-time cases we face quite a lot, right? So in this situation, how do you handle it?
So, sir, putting a VLOOKUP formula here, selecting the rating column,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever rating is there,
Mm-hmm.
and then the table array from rating range and grade,
Okay.
and then putting 2 comma 1.
Okay. 2, 1. If I go
Yeah,
for this, what I'm getting?
NA.
So how this helps?
Okay, oh, even if you put the dollar symbol also, it's still coming in.
Yep. So if I go for 1, though I believe it's an approximate match, but still it doesn't give the result. But some cases it is giving me the result. Where if you go for 5.0, the cases, can you see? Since it is matching over
Yes.
here exactly, it is giving me the result. So here, this is what we are going to discuss. When the data is falling in a range, what does it mean? Suppose if you go for 0 to 3, 0 is the minimum limit, 3 is the maximum limit. So anything falls in between 0 to 3, that is called E grade. So that's called range. So now what you have believed, range when it comes, which or what type of data may come in the range? Is the number, is the numerical value? Do you agree? When you're thinking about a range, a number can be in a range, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, the same thing we are going to do. But here, if it is so simple, then why people are not able to write the VLOOKUP formula with approximate match? So if they are not writing, then how they get the solution? Here, our experts, they will suggest you go for a lengthy if formula. So they will be asking you to write the if formula for multiple times, making the formula length more. And again, when you go and present it, this will be also taking a lot of space. I told you the more the VLOOKUP, I mean, the more the if formula, the file size will be more. So if you are typing a lengthy formula for 10,000 people, so that itself is enough to complete the action and to showcase the result. Okay. So here, for VLOOKUP with approximate match purpose people, you need to follow two basic rules. Rule number one, the data must contain a matrix. The data what you work with, it must contain a matrix. So what is the meaning by matrix? Just see. It's starting from 0 and maximum up to 3, right? So I'll go for just 0, 3.1, and I'll go for 3.6, 4.1, 4.6, and 5. Okay. So what is the meaning why I did create like this? Just 1 minute, watch my screen. Forget about that, the column, what it was. Now, what you have understood from this, stay focused. Suppose somebody scores 0, grade is E. And if it is scoring 3.1, grade is D. But what about somebody scores more than 0, but less than 3.1? Somebody scores more than 0, but less than 3.1. What should be the grade? That also grade E only, correct? So this is what nothing but your range. This is what nothing but your range. And to explain that only, this is what the theoretical understanding I have created, that 0 to 3 is nothing but taking the minimum limit is 0 and maximum limit is 3, and the answer will be grade E. So the same thing now, matrix is ready. Rule number one, matrix is supposed to be there, that is ready. Rule number two, the data must be sorted. So the matrix must be sorted. So is it in a sorted order? Like, yes, we have got minimum 0, maximum 5. So it is in smallest to largest order, no issues, no worries. And we got the things clear. Okay. Now taking this, when I go and present it, is equal to VLOOKUP rating over here, comma, taking this complete table array. Okay, we need to lock it since we need to apply the formula for multiple cases. Then, comma, what? What is the column index number? Which column we are having the data? Anybody? Column index number formula is demanding. In our table array, how many columns we have? Vijay, H, you should not read by the H. I told you how to count in the border area. In the border area, there are 3 columns and grading is in third column. So we should be having column index number 3, comma. So far we have learned completing the VLOOKUP formula with exact match. But now we have learned since our data is not falling in the range, and then what you need to do? Go for 1. And see the beauty? Immediately it will be throwing the result. So even though you have got incentive slab, discount slab, production slab, or income tax calculation, anything you have, you can do this over there. Okay. So what is VLOOKUP with approximate match? Is it clear? This will be very, very helpful, people. Most of the cases, like as I told you, when the data is not having one-to-one match, if it is falling in a range, you can always take the help of these options. Yes, people, concept was clear. Anything not clear or you have any questions in the mind, you can ask me. So those who are done, please drop me a message, D for done, or any questions comes up, please ask. And trust me, if you suggest this kind of formula to someone, he will be very thankful to you.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Please ask.
So for the formula to work, we always need that the first column, is it like the numbers, the way it is arranged?
This is always essential. This is called
Okay.
matrix. This is called matrix. This column is essential. And rule number 2, it must be sorted. So it should be either smallest to largest or largest to smallest. One order should be there.
Okay. Got it, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes. Anybody else is having any other questions? So can I take that? Everybody is clear with our VLOOKUP with the approximate match?
My question is, every time we have to prepare approx match.
No, you have to
Right?
create this column. This matrix column should be there.
Yes, yes.
Should be there.
Okay. Every time we have to create, right?
Yeah, you have to create, and it will be there otherwise. That's
Hmm.
why I told you this is for the theoretical understanding. It is created, but
Yes.
technically we'll be getting
Okay.
our data in this format. Like, say, I'll give you one more example. No need to do anything. Just watch my screen.
Mhm. Okay.
See, I have got a discount slab. Okay. So what is the meaning by this? Suppose somebody is not purchasing anything, definitely no discount. But somebody is purchasing minimum quantity 1 and the maximum quantity up to 10, he will be entitled for 5% discount. This is what the meaning, 0 to 10, right? So anybody is purchasing the quantity from 0 to 10, the a person will be entitled for 5% discount. Similarly, more than 10, but less than equal to 25, 10%. So what does it mean? More than 10 means 10, if it is there, then 5%. Up to 10 value limit is 5%. If it is more than 10, so definitely 10%. But again, limitation up to 25 only. So more than 25, say minimum 26, but less than equal to 50, 20%. So like that, this is what people always define the bucket, the brackets. And based on that, we need to give our customers, depending upon the quantity they have procured the order given, they will be entitled for discount. Similarly, your income tax slab up to 2 lakh 50 nil, 2 lakh 50 to above up to 5 lakh 10%, more than 5 lakh but less than 10 lakhs 20%. So like that we have got different brackets or different buckets of systems. And if you look at, this is there already in a sorted order, like minimum is 0, maximum is 100. So rules are satisfied. So definitely we can go for VLOOKUP with approximate match. All right,
Thank you.
welcome. Yes, so we are clear with our VLOOKUP with approximate match. Now we'll go for the next level. The next sheet is called advanced lookup. So here, let us first discuss what is the example we have with us. See, suppose say my boss asks me, Pravas, get me all the entire employee related information. So I have given a respective T code in my SAP system. I download a report. It comes in this format of 10,000 records. What's that? Employee ID, the name of the employee, division or department they belong to, position they hold, and how much is the salary, everything is picture. Now, when I showed this 10,000 items data to my boss, he is telling, because this data is of no use for me. You keep it with you. What I want is, I want to have a template in such a way, whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should reflect over here. So, for example, if you take a sample case ID 004, look at our master data. Who is that person? ID 004, who is that person?
Mr. D.
So, Mr. D should come over here below to name. What is his department? Legal should come over here. What's his position? Manager should come over here. How much is the salary? 2000 should be over here. So, this is what my boss is expecting. Now, if he changes again, employee ID 004 to something else, the corresponding details should be available. This is what he wants me to create a template for him so that it should be serving his need. So, how to do that? Yes, people? Anybody? These are the real-time situation, people. So, whatever it comes to your mind, you can share. Anirudh?
Sir, in this situation, I'm not sure actually.
What do you do otherwise? If you come across this kind of situation,
Um,
what do you do?
See, one thing I can think of is the one by one we look up.
That's what everybody does. That's what I was expecting. So in this case, if I need to get employee name, I will apply one VLOOKUP. If I get department, another VLOOKUP, position one more, salary one more. So totally four different columns, four different VLOOKUPs we need to apply. This is what the logic we know. And as such, we have the understanding also like this. Correct? Everybody
Yes.
agrees to me? Right. Now, just think about it. Going to each and every column and defining a VLOOKUP formula for four multiple times. Do you think is it a idle practice? Or are you comfortable doing the same?
No, quite difficult.
Time taking, time consuming job, isn't it? So, do you believe that Excel will ever recommend for that? It's such a great tool since last 37 years it is ruling the entire global data world. So, definitely Excel will never recommend for the same. Then, let's see how to make an improvement on that. Rather going for each and every column and applying VLOOKUP, how to do it with one go. So, first thing is over here, just check if this kind of situation, what should be your approach? No need to do one thing. First, just 1 minute, watch my screen. Okay. In this highlighted block, master data, how many columns we have, people? How many columns? 5 columns. How do you read our data? From left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, is it the same sequence in my template also I am looking for? If yes, name in which column in my master data it is there. Is it second column? Department, third column. Position, fourth column. Salary, fifth column. Do you agree? In my master data, is it the column numbers it is assigned, or is it the same column number the data has been spread across? Right? So these things why I'm creating for your better understanding. That is nothing to do with our formula. Don't expect, okay, I'm going and creating something with this. No, this is just for your basic understanding. So now, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a sequence? Is it a chronological order you believe? Of course, yes. So when the data is in sequence or in order, what should be the formula? See the beauty. Again, 1 minute, watch my screen. What I'm doing, try to understand. I will go for simple is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data. Okay. Now, when I take this employee ID, when I copy this formula towards right, this ID should not move right. Do you agree? This employee ID A11 cell should not move to B11. Do you agree? Right. Now, when I copy this formula towards down, who knows? My boss may be having 2, 3 employees requirements. So you may copy this formula towards down. A11 should go to A12, A13, A14 like that. This movement has to be on. So A11 should not go to B11, but A11 should go to A12. So which movement is on and which movement is restricted? Column movement is restricted, but row movement is on. So I told you in our day two data, our date calculation, date diff formula, right? So what we need to do, we need to lock only the column. And to lock the column only, F4 3 times, making it as column lock or column constant or column freeze. Is it clear? Come on. What's the next one? Table array. Where to search in the master data? Where to start with from employee ID? Before employee ID, if I tell anything is there, I no need to select. But after employee ID, what I want, the name, the department, the position, the salary, everything I need. So this data should not move down or move right, and we need to lock it. Do you agree? Then coming back to next is the column index number. So here there is a problem. So column index number, we need 2, 3, 4, 5. But we cannot define altogether over here. Neither we could go to each and every column and edit the formula. So here, what we'll be doing, we'll be using another formula naming called our column. In Excel, a very beautiful formula is there, naming called column. So what is the column formula? What it does exactly? Try to understand. Column formula is nothing but whichever the column you are typing the formula, that column number will be returned as an answer. So which column we are trying to type the formula? In column B. If you look at column B is an alphabet. But technically, if you count A as 1, B answer will be 2. So my column formula will return the answer 2. Let's check it out. Is it giving me the answer 2? Yes. Is it the same number we were expecting the moment we started working with VLOOKUP? Is it the same number we are expecting? And is it the same column? Our master data name is available in the second column? Yes, perfectly all right. So our column formula will be bringing up a number, and that number will be defined as a column index number for VLOOKUP formula. So why we have used column formula? Is that clear? Now, we are working with VLOOKUP formula. So VLOOKUP formula, how it ends up with? Always with exact match for the case. Now bracket close, formula is ready. Only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. As we know, shortcut, control, enter. So this is how people see one shot. Once our employee ID is matched, the corresponding entry completely about the employee, we have got the answer. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, if your VLOOKUP entry is matched and you need the entire multiple column entries over there, you can simply go for a formula VLOOKUP with column. So give it a try and check, is it working? Hope it is clear, people. Yeah, training there only है.
ट्रेनिंग में भी इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है तो मेरे सामने रिव्यू कर रहे हो
Yeah,
तो प्लीज
yeah, training just. Well, people, so I believe everybody is clear. It works for everyone. Okay. Any doubt? Any queries for anyone? Fine. Sachin, Pramod, everything all are clear? All right. So now, once it is done over here, let's go for the next. See, when you are creating a template, do you believe that we can create a sample data like this and send it across to someone? Right? We cannot do that. Correct? In this case, over here, okay? Now, suppose say if I just go and delete this, okay? What happens? My formula returns the answer as an error, correct? So having the errors in this format, I cannot send it to across to someone else. And people will ask the questions, and this is not the right idea or right way to present your templates in this format. So how to handle this kind of errors over here? Let's go and have a discussion. So what we can do, people, whenever you create a template over there, okay, you need to go for just 1 minute, watch my screen. You need to go for a formula before we look up naming called if error. If error. So if it is not clear to you, just look at my formula bar. If it is not clear in this area, look at the formula bar over here. Okay. And there, how it works, I'll tell you. In this formula bar, whatever you say, first, VLOOKUP formula will be processed by our Excel. If it returns the answer as an error, in step 2, if error formula will be applied. And then when you have already declared if error formula to be applied, then over here, what you're expecting in place of those errors over there is we have to declare. So what we need to do, we have to go for over there in the formula, anything, whatever you want, like NA, not available, not applicable, we can go for it. And over here, since we are working with a template, we should go for a blank cell. We should go for a blank cell, okay? And for blank cell, we have discussed already in day 1 how to define a blank cell by giving 2 double inverted quotes. And over here, the moment you go for this, formula is ready. Only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Control, enter. And with immediate effect, you could see, as long as there is no data over here, my formula is remaining silent. And tomorrow, when you go and copy any of the employee ID or type any of the employee ID, the details should be available. So this is how we have understood any point of time, any formula you are designing in template, if error is the formula, can be combined with any formula, and to handle the formula driven errors, you can go for this. Okay. So just give it a try and check everything is working fine for you. Any doubt, any queries?
Sir, I have a doubt. So what's the purpose of using if error in this scenario?
The reason is, Anirudh, if you go for any template, see, this will be really looking odd. I mean, if you do not go for if error, what is going to happen? It will be showing the errors like this.
Okay.
So errors will be always annoying and it will be leading to a lot of questions in the people's mind. That's why to just stop people asking unwanted questions,
Okay, got it.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
welcome. All right, people. So I believe everything is clear in the scenario one, what we did. Now, just have a look. 1 minute, just let's analyze the same situation for one more time. Okay. So over here, suppose say if I delete this, no doubt my formula is working properly over here and we are working fine. But see, the person whom I have sent this data or the template or report, and he is typing something of his own. Okay. And now this is not responding properly. So definitely he will be panic and he will be asking the question, what is the thing it has gone wrong? Unless and until I look at the data back again, I have no idea or the clue where it has gone wrong, right? So over here, how to handle this kind of situation? So the best option is, why this kind of problems are arising? Because we are giving an option or opportunity to type the data, okay, over here. So the more the options you will be giving to the user to type the data, or you will be asking him to do the data entry operation, there is a error. Definitely chances are there high. So here, how to manage this situation, how to prevent the errors to happen? By simply creating a drop down list. So how to create a drop down list over here? Just see, in our Excel we have a very beautiful option naming called data validation. So where to go? Going to data validation. Okay. And in data validation, if you look at over here, any value it is showing, I'll go for a list. So when I go for the list, it will be asking for a source box. Where is the source? Source is the employee ID list. And when I take the employee ID list, that's it. Now click OK. And this is on. So now people will no job over here to type the data. They will have to only select the data and see how the things have become more dynamic. All right. So this is how people we have understood. Whenever using a template, ensure that your template is containing this kind of drop down and you can connect with that with any kind of formula and make it more dynamic. This is in data validation. Just give me 2 minutes, people. I'll be just back. 2 minutes just. All right. So sorry for the interruption, people. Okay. So over here, now we are going to discuss about our scenario 2 over here. Okay. So scenario 2, what is that? We have the same employee ID. The data is in the same sequence. Now, what we need to do, we have to go for over here. Okay. So if I want to find out the result for employee ID 003, then what should be the answer? How to get that? Anybody? Have you tried that in the meantime?
Yes, sir, I tried, but it wasn't working.
Okay. So what you tried? Could you please let me know?
The same thing that we tried for this ID 004.
Mm-hmm.
I tried the same thing here,
Mm-hmm.
the same formula, but it didn't work. It was showing REF error.
Okay. So I have taken this formula over here. Okay. Comma, table array. Table array is the complete data. Locking the same, comma, column index number. How many columns are there? Total 5. And is it the same sequence I'm looking for? Name, department, position, salary. Do you agree?
Yes.
So we can use column formula. That is what we know. So when I go for column formula, comma 0, what happens? This is giving the result like this.
Yes.
Now, what is the problem? The problem is everything is fine. Only thing is it is unable to refer to the particular column. So which column means, suppose say I'm typing the formula in the name column. So name is in which column? Name is in column H. So H, what is the number it is going to return me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So column formula is going to return me 8. Do you agree? Right? But technically in our master data, name is in which column? Technically, the master data is in second column. So this is the problem. So as we understood our master data name is in second column, we must go for over here, slightly tweaking the formula, deduction with 6 and control enter. We got the result. So this is how, whenever you apply VLOOKUP formula between two different sheets or two different workbook, you need to, though the data is in sequence, you need to slightly tweak the column. Check it out. Is it working?
So, but why is this happening? Like it for the table below that it didn't happen, but whereas for this it happened. Like uh, how exactly is this happening?
Right, because see, when you are going for the formula, this is there in the second column name, correct?
Yeah.
Here also name is in the second column.
Yes.
And if
Okay,
you go
got
for
it.
the column formula, if you go for the column formula, this is also giving me 2.
Yes, yes.
So we are not facing any trouble.
Okay, got it, got it. So here, whatever that column it is in right now, minus the actual column number we'll have to do.
Right.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep. Welcome. Yes, people. Scenario 2, is it clear for everyone? Any doubt, any queries? Right, Monica, clear? Did you get that? Sachin? Okay. So now we'll be moving to our scenario number 3 over here. Okay. So here the situation is a bit different. So just stay focused, people. We are looking for now the ID 005. But right now, we are not looking for the name over here, the first column. We are looking for department, then salary, then name, then position over here. Okay. So if this is the case, how to deal with? So department, department. Which column it is now in my master data if I'm looking for? It's 3. Salary. Which column? It's 5. Name is the 2nd. Position is the 4. Okay. So now if I want to go for this over here for VLOOKUP, just let's see what should be the approach first. Okay. 3, 5, 2, 4. Is it a sequence? Is it a chronological order? No. So VLOOKUP with column combination is ruled out. VLOOKUP with column combination is ruled out. Option number 2. Can we do the cut paste work? Instead of department, we bring the name over here, and in place of name, we'll bring our position. Like cut paste work we do and manage the column headers in the sequence. And then can we apply VLOOKUP with column? Is it possible? By doing and cutting and pasting the column headers, can we go for VLOOKUP with column combination? That is also not possible. Reason is, technically we can do that. Since we have got hardly 3 to 4 columns, we can do that. But if you take a real-time situation, when you download the data from SAP or ERP system and you have got 80 to 100 and columns over here, okay, then in that case, it is very difficult when you want to cut paste of 15 to 20 columns, somewhere will be lost while doing the job. So this is not an ideal process. So that's also rule out. Now, option number 3, do you believe that VLOOKUP can bring up the answer by taking the column index number automatically, making it dynamic in this format? So if yes, then why we are struggling in the first case, right? So technically, there is no answer, there is no such formula or functions to do this job at this stage. So VLOOKUP doesn't have that much of power to get the column index number dynamic in this format. So how to get it done then? So we need to add some more power to our VLOOKUP formula. What is that power about? Let's see. Going for over here, just watch my screen or do it along with me for the better understanding. Okay. Leaving some 3 to 4 rows down, create a text Jan and drag it up to December. Drag it up to December. Now in this highlighted block, if you look, just create and just watch on my screen. In this highlighted block, if I ask you how many variables we have, what will be your answer? 12. And within that 12 cells, if I ask you what is the position of May, what is the position of May out of the 12? Answer will be 5. Do you agree? Because we start counting Jan as 1, Feb as 2, March as 3, like that. The moment we reach May, answer we receive as 5. This is what we manually did, right? Now the same thing when you do it in Excel over here, when you do it in Excel over here, how will you do that? Just see. The moment you go for Excel, we'll go for a formula naming called match. Now, how this match formula works, just 1 minute, watch my screen, okay? Taking the cell value as an input, find out the cell location over here. So if you look at the first input, it is demanding lookup value. In VLOOKUP, it asks for lookup value. In HLOOKUP also, it asks for lookup value. Okay. So here, lookup value, we know what we have with us. Then what it demands? Lookup array. If you remember, VLOOKUP, it was asking table array. HLOOKUP also, it was asking for table array. But here it is asking for lookup array. So what is the meaning by lookup array? Here we need to understand. This is very thin line. Please try to stay focused. In any formula of Excel, if it demands for array or table array, it is nothing but the combination of your rows and columns. The combination of rows and columns. Okay. If it is asking lookup array like match formula, it can be a complete column or a complete row. It cannot be both. So in this case, the moment you go for this, what should be our lookup array? A complete column. Okay. So this is the difference between your lookup array or table array or array over here. Now, the moment I give comma, what is the next thing it is asking? Match type. As usual, we have been following the match type for VLOOKUP. It's 0 for exact match. HLOOKUP, again 0 for exact match. Similarly, the match formula also will go and end up with 0 for exact match. Now see the result. Is it giving the same number? Yeah. Now if I go and change this May to over here, say September, it's 9. If I go for December, it's 12. If I go for Feb, it's for 2. If I go for May, it's for 5. So what we have understood by match formula, it takes the cell value as an input and finds out the cell location or cell position as the answer. All right. So this is what about our match formula. So take a look. Match formula, give it a try on your screen. Is it giving the same result the way we have discussed? If you have any difficulties in understanding, do let me know. I believe match formula, whatever it is doing, we are clear on that. Now, basic rule, just think like a layman. No need to think much. See, match formula gives a answer in number. For the timing, you remember this. And column formula also gives a answer in number, right? So column formula where to use? When the data is in sequence. Now, when the data is in non-sequence, so it's not in a chronological order, we have to use match. So rest of logics are same. In place of column, we have to use the match formula to get the desired column index number. So is that clear now? What to be done? Right. So how to do that? Let's go for a discussion. Just see on my screen. 1 minute. I have taken the data equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is my employee ID. I should lock it as column lock, comma, table array. Where is the data? Table array is over here. Okay. Now needs to be locked. We know the reason. When I copy this formula towards down or towards right, this should not move down or right. Okay. Comma over here, column index number. So this is where the catch. So column index number will be decided or the output will be derived by our match formula. So now I'm going to use the match formula over here. So now give your entire focus to match. Forget about VLOOKUP. What it demands me? Lookup value. So now you tell me, what is my lookup value over here? Yes, people? ID 005. That's a good one. But ID 005, we have already given to our VLOOKUP formula. Can you see that? So what we have with us? Technically nothing. We don't have anything to give as a lookup value for match. But we have something. What is that? Taking the department from this, taking the department from this over here, can I search in my master data over there in the first column itself, the first row itself? Because the formula is demanding as lookup array. So lookup array, I told you, it can be a complete row or a complete column. So in our master data, the first row item is dealing with all our headers. So a header can be searched in the header area. Now in this green color border area, how many cells are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So department in which position? It's in the third position. So my match formula is going to return me number 3. Yes. Is it the same number we were expecting? Yeah. But to complete this match formula, this range, when I copy this formula towards right, this range should not move right. So what we're supposed to do? We need to lock it, right? Comma. What kind of match? Always go for 0 for exact match. Now this match formula, is it going to give me an answer of number 3? Yes, we are getting that, right? Now the moment we have done with this, comma, we are not applying the match formula over there alone. We are just applying it over there within VLOOKUP. Do you agree? Right? So when I go for match formula over there, taking the lookup value as department over here in this array, I'm searching, okay, and defining 0. No doubt this is giving me 3. But is this the formula alone we are dealing with? We are dealing with the same within VLOOKUP formula. Now VLOOKUP formula also has to be closed. How it's to be closed? Comma 0 for exact match. And formula is ready over here. And once I do this over here, what it returns me as error. Now why error? Let's go and check it out. Our table array is logged, lookup value is logged also properly, match also defined properly, and VLOOKUP is also closed properly. So everything is fine. So sometimes it happens with us like that. Though the formula is 100% correct or absolutely right, still we don't get the answer. Why? What is the reason? So no need to be panic. Just go for one time to check your data. Is there any problem in my data? Maybe, we don't know. So in this case, if I want to check my data, how will I check it? Just see. If I go for my data over here, okay, so I have got some columns not reflecting. Just give me a second, it's behaving odd a little bit. Right. So in this case, what's the problem? Let's go and discuss. See, how to check my data? If I go and check my data, if you look at how many characters it is seeming available, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if I want to check the same, there is a formula called len, which will be helping me in identifying or counting the number of characters available in a cell. So technically it seems to be 6, but available 7. So we have understood there is some unwanted space, or maybe looking like a space, some unwanted character is available over here. Now we need to clean the same. So if at all it is a space, we have a formula available in Excel whose name is trim. So if I go for trim formula, what it does, it removes the unwanted space from my data. Though it is in the beginning, or it is at the end, or it's in the middle, it will remove everything. And once I got my data over here to check the same, is it giving now me the clean data? Yes. So this is how we have understood that we have a extra space and that we need to clean it out. So now the question is, do I need to clean this By taking a separate column, applying the trim formula, then bringing into the formula? No, not necessary. So whenever you have this kind of situation, people, how to deal with, I'll tell you. You need to go and create a separate column for cleaning up the data. What we'll do, we'll make our formula efficient enough in such a way, it will first clean the unclean data, then it will be bringing the result over here. So here, which element is uncleaned when I open the formula? Can you identify? Which element is uncleaned from this? ID. So this ID alone, what we are going to do, we are going to retain in trim formula. That's it. We need to do this. And formula is rectified only with one cell, need to apply for rest. Control Enter and see the beauty. Even though our data is unclean, but still we able to find our answer. So this is what the beauty, people. Whenever you go for this VLOOKUP with match combination, it becomes very powerful formula, and you need the most whenever you go for any kind of dashboard summary report to prepare it. So give it a try and check it's working. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask. Hope the concept clear. Why did you go for VLOOKUP with match? Why we have gone for VLOOKUP with column? And where did you deduct with this 6 over here in the scenario 2? Why we have opted VLOOKUP with if error? Is it working, people? Any doubt? Any queries? Anybody is facing any trouble? Fine. Subhij is done. Sachin, Anirudh, Monica, Pramod. Okay. Okay. Fine then. So we have done with our advanced lookup sheet, people. So taking the live data, keep practicing, and trust me, these formulas will be pretty helpful. As I told you, when you design any kind of dashboards, summary reports, and templates, you will be needing the most. All right. So over here, now we'll go for our next sheet, naming called nested if. So we are going to discuss now the logical formulas of Excel. Again, when you go for a template and all, how to design this kind of logical formulas and get our desired output, satisfying all the conditions. We are going to discuss that. Suppose say we have a score. Okay, we need to check if the person scores more than 50 or greater than 50, results should be pass, else fail. So in this case, we go for a simple logical formula of Excel whose name is if logical test, the score. What kind of test? Is it greater than 50? So this becomes our logical test. Okay. Now, comma, when you are doing a test, either the result will be either success or failure. So true or false is nothing but the other phase of success and failure. So value if true. So whatever you are testing, if it is true, result should be pass. So pass is within two double quote we have to define since it is our own text. Comma. If the value false, so if the person is not pass, what is the ultimate answer? Fail. So within two double inverted quotes, we go for fail over here, right? And the moment you hit enter, you'll be getting your result pass. So this is how a simple logical formula, how to apply, we got it. But let's go and check the score first. If I type something, say less than 50, 35, result fail. If I go for something more than 50, so 65, it's pass. What if I define 50? Result is fail. Reason? We have given the formula exactly greater than 50. So greater than 50 is not equal to 50. So we have to be very particular. If suppose somebody is scoring 50 also needs to be passed, then we should define like this. So this makes a condition 50 or greater than 50. And you should provide in the same rhythm. First greater than symbol, then equal to sign, not in the reverse way. Okay. So now we'll go for equal to. And now, even though the person scores 50, result will be pass. A simple logical formula, how to write it, we got a clarity. Any difficulties in understanding this? This is what we have also discussed in our day one. The moment we have discussed about our business math sheets, if you remember, uh, there was a mixed data type like positive and negative. We have extracted only the positive values by using a simple logical formula. So same thing, nothing else. So can I take that? A simple logical if formula, how to write, we got a clarity. So our first example answer we have received, how to get that. Now we'll go for the second question. Say, there are two people over here, suppose newly joined in my department, and my boss asked me, Prabhas, just do a assessment and get the result of those A and B. So when I conducted the test, A has scored 50, B has scored 90. We got the result. I'm just looking at the score. What happens in the meantime? My boss came and immediately he passed a statement. What is that? Score of A is more than score of B, or A has scored more than B, something like that. He has passed a statement. Now just check whether score of A 50, is it greater than 90? No, not at all. So immediately we can just pass a remarks to my boss statement saying that, sir, whatever you was passing a statement, it's a wrong statement. So we don't want to declare that like that. What I want to do is over here, I want Excel to check the result and give the answer. Well, so to check a statement at any point of time, what we can do is, again, we can use a simple if formula. How to write this? Score of A greater than score of B. And if this is true, the statement will be true. If the statement status is not true, it will be definitely a false statement. So when I go for and give the result, it will be giving me a false statement. So again, a simple if formula is helping us to do a statement check. This is what our experts suggest us all the time to go for it. Okay. It's not necessary to you for you that you should depend upon a if formula for checking a condition. And the reason I told you in the day one also, now I'm repeating, why I don't recommend if kind of formulas the most. The reason is the more the if formula, again, file size will be more. File size will be more. So how to make it then? See the beauty, the alternate option, going for equal to, taking the score greater than score of B. That's it. A simple operator will be acting like a if formula in our statement. Okay. Now just tell me, being an audience, if you are looking at, which one you'll prefer to see, option 1 or option 2? Option 1 or option 2? Definitely, everyone will be having the option 2 choice. So this is how a simple operator, wherever it is possible to compare two columns or to check two column status and all, you can make use of this. Just check it out. Hope it is working. Any doubt, any queries? Right, people? Clear with question number 2? Fine. Let's go for question number 3. Nested if. So what is the meaning by nested if? See, there is no such kind of formula naming called nested if. When you write a looping of if formula or in a particular cell itself, if within if you write for multiple times, that becomes a nested if formula. Okay, let's go and discuss why it is needed. See, we have a score and we need to check if at all the person scores less than 25, grade should be fail. If he scores more than 25 but less than 50, result should be grade C. If he scores more than 50 but less than 75, grade should be B. If he scores more than 75, grade should be A. So this is how we need to take a call looking at the score. If you look at what should be the answer? If 79 is there, and if I need to check the condition based on that, what should be the answer? What should be the grade? Grade should be A. That is pretty clear. But how to do that? Just see. So this is again our real-time questions, people. Most of the time, what it happens, we keep writing lengthy if formulas, but we are unable to define the proper logic. Okay, I'll make it very simple. Think like a layman. How many conditions we have? Fail, grade C, grade B, grade A. So total 4 conditions. Do you agree? Total 4 conditions. Okay. Now, as such, we know to write a particular condition over there, we need to depend upon a if formula. So 4 conditions are there. If I need to write 4 if formulas, I need to depend upon. Do you agree? So 4 if formulas, we are not going to write in 4 different cells. We are going to write in one cell. So this is the place where we have to act. See, When you are going to write all the conditions in one statement or one cell, then you need to follow a logic. What is that? Total number of conditions minus 1. So total number of condition 4 minus 1. So total 3 if formulas we must write. Total 3 if formulas we must write. But how to write? You need to follow a rule. The rule says you need to have a logical flow of conditions. Like there should be ascending or there should be a descending order. So what is the meaning by ascending or descending order? Like you can start with fail, end up with grade A, or you can start from grade A, end up with fail. So this is called the logical flow. So let's start with our fail itself. Just 1 minute, watch my screen. Is equal to if taking the score over here less than 25. If my formula is true, answer should be fail. Up to this clear? If score is less than 25, result should be fail. Is this clear? Yes. Comma. What is the next one? Value if false. So if the person is not fail, what is the ultimate answer? Should be pass, we know, but our problem starts there. If the person is not passed, then which bucket of grade it is going to fall? So that also we need to define one by one. So how to define? So if the value is not false, again there are three question arises, whether grade C or B or A. So we need to check again with the condition. So we need to start one more if formula. Logical test, again taking the score. So score where it is, it's in our B10. Here people always commits a mistake. They define greater than 25. Greater than 25 to check grade C. That doesn't make a perfect condition. So logical flow is disturbed, Excel is confused. So what we need to do, since we have taken less than 25, the maximum limit, we should take less than 50. That makes a condition more than 25, but less than 50. And then what it demands me? Value if true. So should be grade C. Come on. Value if false. Suppose this is also not true. Then what's the next possible grade? Should be grade B. Grade B purpose. What's the condition? More than 50, but less than 75. Start one more if formula. And taking the score again over here. Okay. And then we have to go for less than 75. Comma. If this is true, grade B. Now see the result over here. We have given the condition to check if the person is not fail, neither falling in the category of grade C nor falling in the category of grade B. If none of these conditions are true, what is the ultimate answer? What is the ultimate answer? Is grade A? Definitely, isn't it? So we don't need to go and further write one more if formula. We can simply write grade A within two double inverted quotes. And ideally just check how many if formulas we have written. 1, 2, and 3. So ideally 3 close brackets also necessary to complete our if formulas. That's it. The moment you go and hit enter, this is going to give you the result. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, how to write our formula or if formula in nested mode, that we have understood. So please give it a try and check anything is not clear on this or any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask. So kindly confirm if it is working. Well, so Vijay has confirmed. If at all any doubt or queries, anybody, feel free to ask. Fine. Now, this kind of if formula always based on the logic. Okay. So as long as your logic is perfect, you'll be getting definitely the answer. There is no doubt about it. So as I said to you, always go for the rules. As I told you, the very easiest process. How many conditions are there? Make a count, -1. That meaning if formulas you need to write, and always follow a rhythm, a flow of the formula. Now, let us go for some more formulas of our logical formulas again, naming called and or. Sometimes these formulas also will be very helpful, but how it works, let's have a basic understanding. Okay. Let's go and populate a formula called and is equal to and, open the bracket, start working with me. Score of A, okay, we'll check score of A from the second example, score of A greater than 30. Just type as it is, we'll check that later. Come on. Logical 2, score of B over here less than 90. That also type as it is, we'll check that. Okay. Now, and formula. Okay, stay focused. And formula. Where it comes into picture, when there is more than one conditions to be checked, when you have more than one conditions to be checked, and if all the conditions are satisfied, then only the and formula will return the answer true. I repeat, when you are checking with the conditions with the and formula, all the conditions are to be satisfied. If any condition is not satisfied, answer will be false. So here, if you look at score of A, 50, is it greater than 30? No. Technically, answer is false. Or true? What is that? 50, is it greater than 30? Yes or no? Yes. So answer is true. Score of B, 90. Is it less than 60? So I've taken 90. So 60. Just make it 60. So score of B, 90. Is it less than 60? Yes. Technically, answer is true or false. 90, is it less than 60? 90, is it less than 60? No. No, right? So technically false. So in both the conditions, if you check, first condition is true, second condition is false. And as we discussed, for AND formula, all the conditions are to be satisfied. Since one condition is not satisfied, what would be the answer? False, right? So this is how people, the AND formula gives us the result. So AND formula purpose, all the conditions are to be satisfied. If any condition is not satisfied, answer will be false. Check it out. Any difficulties in understanding, do let me know. So Sachin, Vijay, Monica, all clear? What you did it got and formula? So same thing we are going to check now with OR formula. Same logic, just type as it is, but the formula will be now OR. Okay. Now OR formula, what it does exactly. Again, whenever more than one conditions to be checked with OR, what OR formula says, if any condition is satisfied, OR formula will be giving the answer as true. For AND purpose, all the conditions are to be satisfied, but for OR, if any condition is satisfied, answer will be true. So now if you go and look at score of A, 50, is it greater than 30? Yes. So answer is technically true. It is not going to check the second condition or subsequent conditions because the first condition itself, since the answer is satisfied and the formula is going to give the answer true over here, right? So this is called basically your OR formula. So what is AND, what is OR? I believe now this is clear. Any confusion or any question, do let me know. All right, so kindly save all your workbooks, people. So taking the live data, keep practicing, defining what this kind of logics, and this will be very, very helpful while creating any kind of assessment forms. So based on the user's data, automatically the output will be declared accordingly over there. Okay. So with this, we'll go for a small break of 15 minutes max, and we'll be back. So now it is in 4:10, so 4:25 over here. I'll be back, and we'll discuss the rest. So have a brisk, come back soon. Okay. So I'll be keeping myself mute. I'll be back in 4:25. Well, people, I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes? Fine. Now we are going to discuss the next sheet, naming called sum and count. Sum and count. Okay. So we are going to discuss now the aggregate functions or the functions which will be helping us again while creating the dashboard, summary reports, and tabular reports, and how to use them and how to get our results. We are going to discuss that. See, we have got a 5 columns of data about the employees, naming, date of training, name of the employee, division they belong to, salary they draw, and the training expenses incurred upon those employees. Okay. Now, taking all these 5 columns into consideration, we need to answer all these 6 questions. So first question, what is that it is saying? It is saying over here that count occurrence of division HFD. So in division column, how many times HFD is there? We need to compute that. Okay. So what we need to do? The criteria-based counting. So when you go for the criteria-based counting, we have a ready-made formula naming called count if. What it demands me is the range. So range is my division. Okay. And then what it demands me? Criteria. What's my criteria? HFD. How to define that? There are 2 ways. Either we can go to our division column and choose a cell which contains HFD, or we can define HFD over there into double inverted quotes over here. Okay. And this is going to give me the result 28. All right. So this is how people, our first question's answer, count if, is going to give us the result 28. Kindly check it out. Are you getting the same number? Now, how will I cross-check that whatever my calculations over here about HFD, is it of 28 times appearing? How to cross-check that? Anybody? Because formula is giving the answer. If I need to cross-check that, how will I do that? Any idea? Anybody? What is the best way? You can go for activating filter and then HFD, right? So when I go for HFD over here, how many times it is appearing? That I can select, and the count, is it giving over here the number 28, right? So this is how we can cross check about our results, whatever we receive in this formulas. Hope it is clear. So we are in the right track, and first question answer is 28 is absolutely correct. Now we'll go for question number 2. Count salary that less than 1,50,000 US dollar. So in salary column, wherever the value is less than 1,50,000, those things we need to find out how many times it is there. So basically, we need to go for again over here criteria based counting. So count if range is my salary. What is the criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So here there is a catch. Whenever you have a condition like less than something or greater than something or less than equal to, not equal to, something like that, you must define within two double inverted quotes less than 1,50,000. So this is how the moment you provide the result over here, automatically answer comes. There are 51 cases. Again, criteria based counting, we got the answer. Check it out. Are you getting the same? So question number two's answer 51. I believe everybody has got, Anil has confirmed. How about others? Monica, are you following? Okay, great. Now, next question is sum salary for division RAD. So first we need to check in the division column. Wherever RAD is there, corresponding salary, we have to make a total of that. Okay. So we have to do a criteria based sum over here. So when I go for criteria based sum, okay, range, division, obviously. Then what it demands me? Criteria. Where is the criteria? Is the RAD. How to define within two double inverted quotes? I can do that. Now this is asking sum range. So which range I'll be applying the sum formula? In the salary. So when I go for this and hit enter, this is going to give me the result 90,64,787. So this is called our criteria based sum at any point of time. If you do, this is the result. Clear? Question number 3 is answer. Any doubt, any queries? Now we'll go for question number 4. Some salary above 2 lakh US dollar. So in salary column, we have to deal and we need to check wherever it is more than or greater than 2 lakhs salary cases are there. What is the total salary? We have to make that. So basically again, criteria based sum. So we can go for a formula sum if. What it is asking me? Range. So which range we have to deal with? The salary column. Okay. Now criteria. What's my criteria? Is above 2 lakhs. How to define? We know within two double inverted quotes, we go for greater than 2 lakhs. All right. Now here, just see. Next, my formula is demanding some range. So which range I should apply the sum formula? Can you tell me? Which range we should apply the sum formula? Is it the same salary? What we have to make a total? The salary column, right? So definitely the next column would be salary over here. Now, here we no need to go and define one more time the sum range because range and sum range is the same range. So there is no point extending the formula by defining the same range one more time. So we can complete our formula with criteria itself. So this is one more logic you can always remember. Okay, then only the formula will be crisp and file size will not be heavy. So this is how again the criteria based sum to be done. We got the result over here. 1 crore 32 lakhs 63,214. Clear people? Question number 4's answer. Now we'll go for question number 5. Let's see what it demands. Some salary for more than 50,000 US dollar but less than 1,50,000 US dollar. So which column you have to deal with? Is it the salary column? What we need to do? We need to check wherever it is more than 50,000 is there, but less than 1,50,000, those cases, the salary we have to make a total, correct? So basically, if you look at how many criteria you have, more than one. So one is more than 50,000, but other one is less than 1,50,000. So whenever you have more than one criteria based sum if is not going to help us. We need to go for sum ifs. Very powerful formula, but bit peculiar. Just stay focused for 1 minute. What it demands, just see. It demands me first sum range. Which range I need to apply the sum formula? Salary, right? Salary column, we need to make a total, correct? Now, comma, what it does is demands me criteria range 1. Now you tell me what would be my criteria range 1? Anybody? What would be our criteria range 1? More than 50,000? Well, that's what I told you. This is the place where people commit a mistake. See, if I give criteria range 1 as more than 50,000, what is that next it is asking? Criteria 1. So what I'm supposed to define there? So try to understand. More than 50,000 US dollar, it is one of the criteria. But question is criteria range 1. So whatever your first criteria, where you are going to search, this is what it is demanding. So where we are going to search our first criteria? Is it in the salary column? Right? The same we are defining. Now what it is asking? Criteria 1. So over here, the moment the formula is asking criteria 1, as per the question, what is the criteria 1? We should go for within two double inverted quotes greater than 50,000. Correct? Now criteria range 2. So as per the question, second criteria is less than 1,50,000. But where to search? Is it again salary? Is it again salary? Yes. So we'll go for over here. And the moment I go for my entire salary and I present it, then what it demands me? Criteria 2. What's my second criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So within two double inverted quotes, less than 1,50,000, and this is supposed to be the formula. So this is how people, whenever you have multiple criteria based sum to be done, you can go for a simple formula naming called sum ifs. Check it out. Confirm you are getting the same value. So how to use COUNTIF, how to use SUMIF, SUMIFs, all these things are clear. So please find the answer for question number 6. Find the total training expenses incurred between 1st August 2019 and 31st January 2020. So please find the answer for question number 6. 2 minutes time you have. Please do it. Yes, people? Any answers? So, how much is the answer? Okay, just check where is the mistake you have done. So, what I'm doing now equal to sumifs criteria range 1. It is demanding me criteria range 1, right? So, as per the question, what is my criteria? 1st August 2019. Where to search? So, definitely I need to search in the date column, right? That is what called the range. Now, criteria 1. So, what's the first criteria? If you go for it, the first criteria is 1st August 2019. So, this is the logical expression you have to give it. So within two double inverted quotes, I should go for greater than equal to 1st August 2019 because I cannot ignore whatever the training happened on 1st August. That also I need to take it into consideration, right? And when there is a date related stuffs are there, you should define it in this format. Now, again, going for second criteria range 2. So same A4 to A94, I can take it. Then comma, criteria 2, 31st Jan 2020. So within two double inverted quotes, less than equal to 31st Jan 2020. And now we got the result. So this is what the answer for question number 6. Again, multiple criteria based sum to be done over here. So corrections have you made wherever you have committed the mistake? Able to see? Hope you have understood. Right? Is it clear? Question number 6, 84,284. Everybody has received the same, I believe. Or if you have any queries, do let me know. So taking the live data, keep practicing about all these formulas, people. And definitely this is going to help you. You don't need to go on having the duplicacy of work all the time and keep changing the formula references. So Anirudh, clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Pramod, Sachin, Vijay, Monica. Fine then. So kindly save all your workbooks and close it. So now we are going to discuss the next topic in our sample case studies folder. There is a file name called chart text. So we have seen how to play around with our numbers. We have seen how to clean up our data. We have seen how to little bit do the data mining and giving a real-time expression, making it dynamic by using the slices and converting the data into table. Then we have seen how to add some mere visuals along with the data to give a more add-on to the data and making it more expressive. People would be happy with that. Then how to use the necessary formulas and functions to extract the data from different sources, different files, different Excel sheets, and to do a logical expression with if and nested if. And finally, now we are going to discuss if all these things have been done, finally we have analyzed the data like a professionals by using pivot table. Then now we are going to discuss how to present it visually over there, having the real-time charts and graphs and presenting our data in a beautiful storytelling format. So kindly go and open the file chart text. And over there, the very first sheet if you find is naming called quick chart. So we are going to discuss now when you have the data something like this. Say, take an example, these are the products I have sold to my customers. My boss asked me, Prabhas, get me a report, the entire revenue data, like in the whole year, whatever the products we have sold, how much revenue we have made, I want to know that. So I have consolidated all the Excel files, whatever I had created, taking the products or taking the region wise, customer wise, whatever the data I had prepared, everything I have consolidated, and this is the final summary. I have made it. All right. Now the same data, my boss is asking, Prabhas, why don't you plot a graph? So simple, keep your data in selection, Control A. On your keyboard, press Alt F1. So when you press Alt F1, can you see one immediate chart is turning up with a simple keyboard shortcut? If F1 is not your direct key, go with function Alt F1 and kindly confirm. Is it working? Alt F1 key, people. All right. Now, when I presented this, my boss is saying, Prabhas, this chart is there in the same place where the data is there. It's not so neat and clean. It's not presentable. Why don't you do one thing? Why don't you plot a chart in such a way? It should be bigger in size. It should be neat and clean, presentable, and there should not be any data. It should be only containing the chart. And when I go and present it in the meeting, audience should clap and say, wow, what a beautiful chart. So something this like this boss is expecting from me. So how to present it? Just say, keep your cursor anywhere in the data, Control A, and go for on your keyboard just a key called F11, only one key, F11. And immediately an exclusive chart sheet is going to be generated over here. No data, chart is neat and clean, presentable, bigger in size, and people can read what is what. So these are the two quick and easy ways to plot a graph out of any structure of data by using Alt F1 to prepare the chart in the same worksheet, F11 to prepare or plot a graph in the exclusive chart sheet. So I believe both these options are working, Alt F1 and F11. Right? Now, once we have done with this, come back to our quick chart sheet, people, and the chart, whatever we have created, now we'll see how to make it better. So once you have the chart in place, the first thing first, if you remember in our day 3 also I told you, do some minimum formatting. What is that? Selecting the chart, if you go to the chart design, one separate tab is coming up, design, chart design, something would be there. Many more styles are available. In pivot chart case also we discussed which styles we should take it, the last one. Why the last one? You can see the significant difference. If you take the last style, it will be applying some kind of glossy impact, embossing effect, or shadow impact. That's the reason why we prefer always go to the last style. This is the first step. Then within the chart area, if you see the unwanted grid lines are available. To remove the same, go to the plus symbol and then go for removing grid lines. And when you go for the plus symbol back, your grid lines also removed. So these are the two minimum formatting activities you must do whenever you have the chart in place. So could you please confirm you've done all these things?
Sir, can you please repeat this first charting? What was this command? I was little disconnected in between.
Okay, select your data, Alt
Sure.
F1. Alt
Just a minute,
F1.
sir.
Did you get that? If F1 is not your direct key, go with function Alt F1. Fn key, Alt and
Yes, yes, okay, okay.
right.
Got it, sir. Yes.
Right. Now
Thank you.
select your chart, go to your chart design and take the last style from the style category. Go for the more option and take the last option. And then click on the plus symbol. Click on the plus symbol and there will be a grid lines option. Checkbox would be activated. You got to deactivate that.
Yes.
Now, once the chart is clean, what you need to do is people just see over here to how to make it more informative. Just see, right click on the chart column, any of the column, right click. There is an option called add data labels. Yes. When you go for add data labels, you will be finding each and every product wise how much is the revenue. It is populating in the top of each and every column. So select one of the data label. Ensure that whenever you are preparing the data label, it should be readable by the audience by making it bold, and if necessary, increase the font size by 1 or 2 points. So how to increase the font size with immediate note by the using keyboard shortcuts. So what is the keyboard shortcut? Control, Shift, and greater than symbol to increase the font size. This keyboard shortcut will be working fine for your MS Word, MS Outlook, and MS PowerPoint as well. But in Excel, only thing is it will be working in the charts and graphs or the shapes or the text boxes, not with the cells. Okay. Now, once we are done with this, the latest style of data presentation, what it says, if you are presenting your data in data labels, there is no point of having axis scale. So do one thing, select your axis scale and delete that. The thing which is unwanted, there is no point of retaining that, right? So select your axis scale in the left side, just simply press the delete button from your keyboard. And now, the latest style of data presentation, what it says, that chart title, you should not put it in the center. Those days have gone when people were happy looking at the chart title in the center. Nowadays, if you see most of the company's revenue report, or if you are visiting the money control site, or if you are reading the Economic Times newspaper, you will be always be finding the chart title in the right side. This is called latest style. You can simply drag and drop it. Okay. Now, one more thing, the major concern is, if you remember, since day one, I keep on saying one thing. Nowadays, audience is having a different level of expectation. So when you have the data, you present as it is, nobody likes it. So what audience is expecting? That you should present your data in such a way, it should tell a beautiful story to the people. It should tell a beautiful story to the people. So how to do that? See the beauty. Just select your data and go for data sorting. What is the shortcut for data sorting? Day two, we have discussed already so many times. Anybody? Data sorting. Alt D S. D for data, S for sorting. So you can go for Alt D S, or you can do the right click after selecting the data, sort, custom sort. Whichever it is comfortable for you, go for it. And here, sort by, use the column sales in USD. Order, instead of smallest to largest, go for largest to smallest. And click OK. And when you click OK, can you see a beautiful chart turn up? And what's the story it is making? So anybody who is watching my data, he can make out, or anybody who would like to make an instant opinion about the data, he can understand. From cocoa powder product, we got the maximum revenue, and from custard powder, we got the least revenue. Do you agree with me? Now the same, if you want, you can carry to your PowerPoint and you can present it effectively. If you want to change the colors of these columns, you can do that even. Now suppose say, I don't like this color. I want to change something. Right click on any of the column. You'll be getting a fill option immediately. And in this fill, I want to suppose something called gray. I can change it to gray color. All right. Now, once we have done with this, okay, I believe everybody is up to this clear. Now, do you think that my audience is going to be happy watching this? Yes, Anil, Vijay, Sachin, what's your opinion, guys? We did a lot of changes, a lot of formatting patterns. We make it more informative. We added the data labels. We make it as storytelling format. Everything we did, a lot of things. But do you think that audience is going to be happy? No. I'll say, where is the objection point? What audience is not going to like it? Is the area. This area, people don't like it. Reason? You are forcing your audience to bend their head by another 30 to 45 degree to read all this series data, to read all this product information. So how to deal with the same? We don't have any other choice because the text length is very heavy. So this is the place where we have to work upon that. So what is the thing it has gone wrong? The thing it has gone wrong in nothing but the selection of your right format of your chart. Because in any data, any chart will not be fitting into that. So you have to take a right call. Which type of chart will be an ideal combinations for my data, and it will be more expressive, and that comes out of your experience or with the guidance of the earlier presentations, or when you see the different presentations, you can get an idea, because Microsoft has not designed any kind of tutorial for the same. So now for this piece of data where you need to give more emphasis or equal amount of importance to your text, you should not take this kind of chart. So what should be the right format? Let's have a discussion. Select your chart and go for Control D to make a duplicate. Control D to make a duplicate. This one, I will keep it in the bottom for the reference. Okay, that's why I kept it, created a duplicate, nothing else. Now the first one, whatever the chart I have, I'll just go for right click upon the same. There is an option called change chart type. Can you see? And when I click that, it will be giving me the entire chart family. And there is an option called bar. There is an option called bar. Go for it. And when you go for this bar option, you'll be finding a beautiful chart turns up. Just see, giving the equal amount of emphasis to the text. So when you are presenting data, people will not struggle with regard to reading your product details. And if you do not want to give that much of spacing over here, if you want to have a little bit, if you want to maintain this entire chart with in small space, you can just decrease the width also. It is not going to give much of impact. It will be giving that feel, proper feel, right? So now just take a look, which one is looking great if you compare the option number 1 or option number 2. Obviously, anybody will be looking for that, isn't it? So this is how people, you have to take a right call on the selection of your charts, which is very essential or important, people. Okay, but one more major concern, if you look at over here again, is my data is properly arranged in largest to smallest, but my chart is showing the data in smallest to largest. So this is not a give a sync to the data. The chart is not giving a sync with the data. So how to align it exactly, how to populate it? Here, our experts, they will suggest you go and change your data order again in sorting largest to smallest to largest. Then the situation will change, nothing else. But it will not give a sync of the data, right? So what you can do, I'll tell you a very beautiful feature. Just say, select your text, whatever you have in the chart area, select the text. Okay, just click on that. Right click upon the same. You have an option called Format Access. You have an option called Format Access. And when you go for Format Access, you will be finding categories in reverse order. Can you see? One beautiful options, checkbox is not enabled, categories in reverse order. So this checkbox, when you enable it, automatically the order will be changed. The highest one will be coming up in the top and the lowest one in the bottom. So as per the data, whatever we have, exactly, it will be giving the feel of our data. Right, people? Hope it is clear. So this is called basically, people, our basic chart or quick chart, how to create it, how to format it, how to make it informative, and how to bringing in the latest style, and how to present our chart in terms of a storytelling format, and finally, how to take a right selection of the chart upon the data. We got a clarity. Any questions in our quick chart sheet, people? Anybody? Fine. Now, we'll go for our next chart type, naming called combo chart. So here we'll first tweak our data a little bit. Just see, we have got month-wise, how much is the revenue we made it. Then next column name is called contribution. For the timing, you change this for the easy understanding. It is of sales percentage. So sales in INR is there and sales in percentage is also available. Now, taking this data, if I want to plot a graph, we know what is the shortcut. Alt F1 or function Alt F1, depending upon the data, I mean the keyboard behavior and the laptop brand. All right. Now here, the moment you go for this, then as I told you, when you chart the ready, you have the chart on the screen, then what is the first thing we should do? Going to design, take the last style. Always remember that. Then what's the next step? Selecting your chart, click on the plus symbol and removing the grid lines. So these are the minimum formatting first you do, then talk the rest. All right. Now, once we have done with this, what is the problem in this chart? Can you identify? Let's go and discuss. See, chart is ready, no doubt. But if you see the legends, it is showing sales in INR. That's fine. It is there. There is one more legend, sales in percentage. But do you see anywhere the percentage of sales anywhere populated? No. And this is the problem with the chart. So data is presentation is incomplete. Now, why it is happening like this? I'll tell you. If you look at our data sales, it is a number format. But sales percentage, it is a percentage format. So technically, these are two different types of formats, and this cannot be combined in one axis. So what we need to do now is we need to create one more axis in the right side of our chart. We name it as Z or Z axis, or in technical terms, we call it as our secondary axis, or in Excel language, we call it as a combo chart. And there, this sales percentage, whatever it is there over here, okay, that we are going to define it over in this axis. All right. So what is combo chart? What is the relevance of that? Hope it is clear theoretically. Right, people? So why this chart is incomplete and how to make an improvement on that we discussed. Now, but how to do it, let's go and discuss. So right click on the chart area. There's an option called change chart type. Change chart type. And if you go for this over here, again, you'll be finding from 2013 onwards of the Excel versions, you'll be finding a beautiful option naming called combo in the extreme bottom. And when you click this combo, you will be finding sales data. It is showing clustered column, right? Let it be. No need to do any changes. Sales percentage, what it shows? Line. So instead of line, you go for line with markers. Line with markers. And when you choose line with markers, there is a secondary axis. One checkbox is yet to be selected. It is not yet selected, you can see. And when you go and activate that and click OK, see the beauty? Immediately, you'll be finding a beautiful chart is ready. And looking at the legends, people can make out that sales data is there in primary axis, sales percentage in secondary axis in the format of a line chart. And that is basically your combo chart. This will be very, very helpful whenever you have got multiple columns data to be populated in one plot area. So you can decide which are the columns you can retain in primary axis and which are the column you should retain in the secondary axis so that the data will not be diluted, overloaded, and it will be giving the instant informations to the users. So this is the story of our combo chart. Any doubt, any queries, people?
So this line with marker option is not available in my version.
No, it will be there. Right click on the chart area, change chart type. If you go for the combo, sales percentage, go for the drop down from the line category, fourth option.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
So Vijay, are you getting that? Right click on the chart area, change chart type, choose combo, cluster column, line with markers, and secondary axis needs to be activated. That's it. Monica, is it clear? Any questions from your side? Fine. So now we'll go for the next chart type. It's called budget versus actuals or planned versus actuals or our target versus actuals. So this is one of the most demanded chart type in our routine activities. Every month end, quarter end, half yearly, yearly, whatever the presentation we do, somewhere or the other, we need to present this kind of data. So let's go for it. We have got month-wise target of 3,800 and how much actuals we have incurred or we have got it or achieved. All these things are there. So just select only these three columns. Don't select this cells, yellow colored cells. That is for the information only. Don't select that. And plot a graph. What is the shortcut? Alt F1. Okay. Now, once the chart is ready, first thing first, what we have decided? Going to design. Which style? Last one. Then plus symbol, remove the grid lines. So this is the minimum formatting we did. Please confirm. You did the formatting. Now, see the beauty. Right click on the chart area, go for change chart type. Change chart type. And again, go for direct to combo. Ideally, when you go for the target data, what type of chart will be more ideal, people? Obviously, the line. So go for the drop down, which is showing clustered column, and choose the option line with markers. Then line chart will appear in the preview box. Actuals, instead of line, go for the very first option in the clustered section, clustered column. Go for that. And now, no need to choose anything as a secondary axis. Click OK. And with immediate effect, you could see a beautiful chart turns up. And by reading the legends again, people can make out the blue color one, the target data, and the actuals, it is there in the column format. So with no time, with minimum efforts, we created a beautiful target versus actuals chart. Confirm? Is it done? Now here, one more thing, please stay focused. I would like to share with you. As I told you, this kind of presentations are recurring in nature. Now, suppose say last month I had a presentation, I presented something like this, my people were quite happy. Now again, this month end also, I need to present something. So what is the options I have? Only thing is I can change my data, but the chart will remain the same, right? But do you think that my audience is going to be happy looking at the same chart one more time? No. So their expectation will be something different because they have seen that last time, right? So how to make it different this time when I'm going to present, how to make it different? We are going to discuss that. So I'll tell you, just do one thing, select this chart and make it duplicate. So this is one format. Last month I have presented this. Now this month, how to make it different without struggling over there. Just see. Right click on the chart area. Change chart type. Go for it. Change chart type. And there you'll be having target. Already line with markers, no doubt. Actuals also, which is showing clustered column. Instead, go for line with markers. And when you go for line with markers and click OK, see the beauty. This is one more format of your target versus actuals or budget versus actuals. You can present it. So sometimes you can take this kind of presentation and sometimes you can change it like this. So people happens to see something different and they will be happy. Hope it is clear. Any questions?
And we can copy and paste with our PPT, right?
Yeah.
With the same thing.
Yes, you can do that. You can copy this. You can copy this chart. You can go to your PowerPoint over there and you can direct paste also. You can do, no issues. And if you want to retain the formats, you can do that. Suppose destination format you want to retain or source format, you can retain. There are options also you'll be getting over here. All right. So budget versus actuals, target versus actuals. Any doubts, any queries from anybody? Fine. Now, I'm going to take you through one more beautiful chart type, which is now hotcake in the market or mostly demand in the market. Is called waterfall. So this waterfall, I'll tell you a bit theory on that. Uh, People sometimes call this as a bridge chart. Some people call it as a staircase diagram, but technically this is waterfall. And where to use this kind of chart? Whenever you have something positive and negative combinations of your data or variance analysis, when you do like your sales data or you have your production data, or suppose say your HR attrition rate over here, suppose new joinees, exit employees, you have positive and negative combinations, or your cash flow data. So where you have got this kind of combinations, you can present it by using this kind of waterfall. And one more area where you can use it is when you have a sequential activity of a particular task. Say, take an example. I have got a project where I have spent for material around 50,000. Now, I have incurred a labor cost up to that of 1 lakh. So anybody, if he asks me, Pravas, how much expenses you have incurred on that project, what will be my answer? 50 plus 1 lakh, correct? So 1,50,000. Do you agree? Similarly, when I brought this material and I have processed in my plant, I incurred near about 2 lakh rupees. So total expenses how much? 50,000 plus 1 lakh plus 2 lakh. So total 3 lakh 50. This is how the total expenses. But what's the benefit is when I import the raw material from other overseas partner or counterpart, my government is giving a benefit to me to take the input credit of 25,000. So that's called, you can take it as in layman terms as cashback. So I have received a cashback from our government of 25,000 rupees. So total, if you look at 3 lakh 50 minus 25,000, I have received the cashback. So total 3 lakh 25,000 I have spent on that project. So this is my tabular data story. Clear? Right, people? Hope you have understood what we are discussing. Now, when I presented this to my boss is saying, Prabhas, why don't you plot this data in a graphical format? So how to present this data in a graphical format? Now, no need to do anything, just see. If I go and select and plot it in a chart, what happens? No doubt it is taking a column chart. That is what the default option. But if you look at your data, can you able to connect with this anything? By looking at the chart, do you feel that is there any connectivity between one activity to other and all these 4 activities or 5 activities belong to one particular project? Can you make out something like this, a story from this chart? Is it giving that kind of message? It is just showing each and every activity, a single bar it is showing, but it is not creating a beautiful story the way we have decided or discussed. So this is the reason why right selection of the chart is also very essential. As I told you, for this setup of data, this is not the right format of the chart. So what we can do, just say, I'll go for right click upon the same, change chart type, and you could see there is an option called waterfall. So when you go for waterfall, as I told you, from 2016 Professional and Enterprise Edition, 2019 365, 2021, you will be finding this kind of chart. Earlier it was not there. And when I go and click OK, now can you make out why people call it as a staircase diagram? Because it seems like a staircase over here if you look at, right? Now, can you see some connectivity lines also there in between the activities? So that's why people call it as a bridge chart also. But technically, this is a waterfall chart. All right. Now, this waterfall diagram, though we have made it, but this is not ready yet for our presentation. Okay. So kindly create the chart and confirm you are done up to this. Now, why it is not ready as a waterfall chart? Let's have a discussion first. See, if you look at our tabular data, how many activities we have? Can somebody let me know that? So Vijay is saying 4, Anirudh is saying 5, Sachin is saying 4. So 5, 4, we have a confusion. So how many? Technically, we have only 4 activities. Total cost is nothing but the summation of all these above values, right? So total cost, we can't take it as a separate activity, but our chart, if you look at, total cost is also added as an activity. So this is the place where it has gone wrong. Then how to present it? Just say, I will select my total cost. My entire activities in the waterfall chart will be selected, no doubt. I'll go for one more time to select total cost. Now only total cost is in selection. I will do right click upon that, and there we go for format. Over here, data point above to that. Can you see one option called set as total? So when I go for this set as total, immediately that activity what I selected, instead of showing up, it will now go and reach to the axis. So this is what now I want, and this is what we call it as a waterfall. Now how to present it? Just say. Now if I want to present this story, I can go for simply right click on any of the column, add data labels. So now if you see this picture, just see, I have incurred a cost of 50,000 on material. Is it touching the line of 50,000? Yes. Now, once I incurred material, then only I can spend on labor. So can you see, labor is not touching to the axis. It is just exactly started when material is over. And 1 lakh plus 50,000. Is it touching the line of 1 lakh 50? Yes. So like this, people can make out whatever the stage wise, how much expenses I have incurred, or as a company CEO or MD on a larger picture, I want to see the result. I can make out in this entire project, 3,25,000 is spent over here. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, it's not confined to accounts, finance, or production planning. Any department, wherever you are working with, this will be ultimately going to help you a lot. So please make out, is it happening? Is it clear? So waterfall, it's a beautiful diagram, people. So taking the live data, keep practicing again. And trust me, nowadays, this is what you'll be finding in most essential MIS reports and all, or any kind of annual general meeting, committee meetings, or peer review meetings, whatever you are attending. This is what the people are expecting from you. So waterfall, I believe everybody's clear concept-wise. Any doubt, any queries? Fine. Now we are going to deal with the next chart type is called pie chart. Somewhere or the other, this pie chart is very, very essential, people, when you have only one particular series details, like say you want to showcase in terms of occupancy or areas wise, you want to showcase your results, say your HR data, marketing, sales, supply chain, wherever we are going on dealing with that. Okay. But how to present it effectively, that is what the discussion. So let's go and select our data. Go to insert. In the chart section, there is a pie option available. Pie. And in this pie, the very first option is your 2D pie. In pie, very first option is your 2D pie. Select it. And then over here, pie chart is ready. As I told you, first thing first, when you have the pie chart, what I need to do? Going to design and take the last tile. Then there is no grid lines, but yes, you can see some unwanted legends is created in the bottom side of your pie chart, which is unwanted. You can select and delete. Chart title, I can retain in the right side, not a problem. So far good. This is what we make. So kindly confirm all of you have done up to this level. Now, what's the next thing is we have to make our chart more informative. But how? Just say, I'll go for right click on any of the pie and go for add data label. So immediately data labels will be added. Some data labels will be inside pie, some are outside of the pie area. Ideally, what you need to do, select one of the data label, and data labels should be appear outside of the pie area. So right click upon the same, format data labels. When you go for format data labels, a dialog box appears. And here you could see label position. By default, it shows best fit. Instead, go for outside end. All the data labels will be outside. Little bit make it bold and increase the font size if necessary by 1 or 2 points. And how to increase the font size? Control Shift greater than symbol key press together so that you can increase the font size. Now, how to present it effectively? We have got the elements, no doubt. But remember one thing, whenever you have a pie chart, the first thing, we cannot have the pie chart data labels in terms of numbers. It should be always in percentage. So here, just see, we have got one percentage option. The checkbox is not activated. First activate that. So percentage, once it is activated, value is not playing any role. Just above to percentage, value text checkbox is there. You can deactivate value. And from there, if you look at over here, though percentage is applied, but it is not giving a clarity belongs to which month. This pie belongs to which month. So people, before they ask, why don't you provide? So how to do that? There's an option called category name above to the value, category name. And when you put this checkbox on, immediately this will be applied with all the respective month names in the data labels. Now, once we have done with this, next thing what you need to do, though the data labels are added, it is not giving so much of clarity. So how to define in a proper format? Just see. If you look at the data labels, in this case, separator one box is there, a drop down also available. So if you navigate to the separator drop down arrow key, there's an option called space. And when you click space with immediate effect, the entire data labels will be arranged. So kindly confirm all of things you did. So first we change our value to percentage activate, value deactivate, category name activate, separator, we have selected space. Clear? Now, once we have done with this is what anybody can do. Whatever we did so far, anybody can do. So now, how to bring it the latest presentation and how to make it different from others. Just stay focused for 1 minute, what I'm doing. See, whenever you have a pie chart, the first thing what you need to do is you need to identify which month we have got the maximum revenue percentage or which pie is containing the maximum occupancy. So if you look at, in our case, May is having 16%, correct? So that pie should be always aligned in this format. Which format? Like this. So top left corner, it should be facing the one highlighted. So technically, if you look at whatever my May month pie should be there in the place of November. But how to bring it? See, I should go for right click on the pie area. Any pie, I should right click. Format data series. And when I go for this, you could notice angle of first slice. There is a bar and there is a marker also. So what I'll do, I will take this marker and slightly just move. You can see it starts rotating, right? So I have to rotate in such a way exactly. I need to put it over here in the top left corner, angle to spacing to that, right? So how to rotate our pie also, we got a basic understanding. Now, what I need to do is just see. I will go for this pie to select over here. The entire pie chart will be selected, and I will select again the May month only. Now, only May month pie will be selected. Like the moment when you go and order a pizza at the Pizza Hut or Pizza Corner or Domino's, or you order at home, how do you take a slice out? Similarly, you should take a slice out like this. And that turns out to be a beautiful story. So, what's the story? From the entire year, if you look at in the month of May, we have got the maximum revenue. Anybody, whoever is looking at my data, he also can make out what I'm presenting. Do you agree with me? So this is how, whenever you happen to create a beautiful pie chart and present it effectively to the audience, how to present it, we got a understanding. Any doubt? Any queries? Now, another chart for your information, I will tell you. Okay. So we are not going to do any exercise on this. This is just for the information. Nowadays, whenever, suppose say you are working in the multinational companies and your counterparts in European and Americans are there, most of the customers or vendors, you will be finding this kind of chart the most. So what is this chart about? They name it as benchmark chart. Technically, there is no such kind of benchmark chart in our chart family. This is nothing but the other version of our target versus actuals or budget versus actuals. And you could see all these targets, it is provided in the terms of a kind of a marker. That's why they call it as a benchmark chart. But technically, this is nothing but a target versus actuals chart. Okay. So don't be panic. Don't be expecting, okay, this kind of chart in my Excel, it is missing. Is there any other version that I should deal with? No. Whichever the version you are in, irrespective of any versions, this kind of chart you'll not be having in the chart family. All right. Now coming to the next is called automatic chart. So here, what is the meaning by automatic chart? Is it something by looking at the data, I'll be commanding to Excel and Excel will listen my voice and it will plot a graph? No, such kind of artificial intelligence, so far it has not turned up. Okay. So what is automatic chart? I'll tell you. No need to do anything, just watch my screen for a while. Suppose say I have over here deleted from March to December. I have deleted. Okay. Take an example. I have got 2 months data like Jan and Feb, and I need to present it in the form of a graphical presentation. So I can go and plot, no doubt. Now just see, tomorrow when I am completing my business for the month of March and I'm trying to present my data, do you see March month data is included in the chart area? No. And why it is happening? When you select the data, then only we realize is that my data range is not extended up to March. And what we do, we take our mouse pointer and simply we go and enhance the range. Then only the March month data is being populated. No doubt, there is nothing wrong over here, and it is absolutely right what you're doing. But this action is recurring in nature. Every month end, I have to go and slightly increase the length. Now you can ask me a question, because instead of doing that, can't we just take a anonymous range like this over here if I go for it? Yes, you can take, but it will be leaving some empty space in the chart area. So what is that meaning? Are you going to say that this is not yet completed or I'm yet to complete the year, that's why it is not showing the details? So that's not the right expressions to do. So whatever the practice we have to stop it today. All right. Now start working with me. Kindly delete March to December. Everyone will be having a different number. Don't be panic. Everyone will be having a different number. Don't be panic because of the formula naming called rand between. Okay. Now over here, just see, select your data. Before presenting the data in the format of a chart, first thing, step one, convert your data into table. So I told you in our day 2, day 3 as well, how to convert your data into table. What is the shortcut? Anybody? Control T. Very good, Anirudh. And the moment you hit enter, the data is converted into table. Now plot your graph. Now whatever your necessary formattings you learned in quick chart, start implementing. The first thing first, what is that? Going to design, take the last tile. Step 2, remove the grid lines by clicking the plus symbol. Step 3, add the data labels. Step 4, delete the axis scale. Step 5, take the chart title in the right side. Then, step 6, what you need to do is, suppose you want to go for increasing the font size of the data labels, you can do that. All right. So, we have understood what are the minimum formatting to be done. Now, just 1 minute, watch my screen. Tomorrow, when I complete my business for the month of March, so for the time being, fill only the month name, MAR. Hit enter. You'll be getting your results, March month populated. APR, April is added. May, MAY, JUN. Like you have to only focus with your data entry work. You don't need to worry about your chart population. Automatically, it is taking the equal intervals between the your month names, and data label is also getting appended, and it is getting automatically fit to the window of our chart options. So this is how the beauty, if you convert your data into table, how to present it effectively, we got the basic understanding. And here, one more thing I'll tell you, whenever you are presenting your records for the quarterly data, you don't need to showcase the entire data. Just go to the month and whichever the quarter, like April over here, and we go for suppose June and May, April, May, June. I want to showcase the data. So you can showcase it properly, and unwanted data we are not showing to the people, unwanted questions are not going to come. So this is how we have understood whenever we have the data, if you convert into table, it will be also beneficial for our chart presentation and making it dynamic. So kindly check, is it happening? All right, people. So this is it from our charts and graphs. Okay. So taking the live data, keep practicing. And chart is nowadays what people prefer to see. People have enough seen boring your data. I mean, getting bored your ready-made numbers, lakhs, billions, millions. So always take the right selection of the chart and present it effectively. And definitely you can bag appreciation from your workplace, and people will love to see your reports. Practice is very, very essential, as I told you in day 1 itself. So now it's up to you how much you practice and making a difference at your workplace. So any doubt or queries from our all these 4 days? Hope it was informative.
Yes, sir, very much.
Right. So if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to ask. So as usual, session recordings are with you. Today also you'll be getting by maximum another 2 hours of time. So taking the one-time practice is not enough. You have to deal with that with our regular example also, or in our routine activities. When you start working, downloading data from SAP or ERP, you will be facing a lot of challenges. So there, this is going to help you. And if you believe, okay, it is not clear for you or unable to make it, you can make a note of my email ID. This is under my supervision. So training.pune@yahoo.com. You can always drop me a sample data and your instructions over there, what exactly you are missing or how to present it effectively. If you're not getting an idea, I will help you out. But before that, practice it well. So this is not the enough. As I told you, Excel is just a base. So you have to upgrade your skills to the next level. Though it is in the name of Excel VBA Macro or next level of intelligence tool or data analytical tool like Power BI. It's up to you. But for all these things, good grip on Excel knowledge or good grip on Excel formulas, functions, pivot table, charts and graphs, conditional formatting will be very, very essential. Fine.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Please.
Now that we've learned these things, what would be the next logical thing to learn after this?
I would suggest if you are practicing well all these things, you should learn Power BI. I mean, that is what the next generation reporting tool, and everywhere, wherever you go, people are now demanding good knowledge of Power BI will be added advantage. Even though you go for a job switch for your career growth or something, wherever you go and apply, they will be demanding this.
Okay, so directly after this, we can go for opt for Power BI.
Yes, yes. I mean, if your
Okay.
job role more into the MIS kind of stuffs, or where
Mhm.
you need to customize a lot and you want to automate your reports, which is in monotonous job, you want to automate the entire reports, you should learn
Yeah.
Excel VBA Macro if your job is specific into the MIS kind of role. And if your
Okay.
job is of the user level, like you are into accounts, finance, production, planning, HR, you should learn Power BI because data is there, but unless and until you able to analyze and present it properly, it is of no sense. So to make the journey from data to information, this Power BI is really a great tool nowadays. And the beauty is why people prefer to Power BI. It is available in the open source, free of cost. You can get that application. With compared to another BI tool called TABLEAU, Power BI is free, but TABLEAU you have to purchase the license, and it is a bit expensive. That's why most of the corporate they prefer to go for Microsoft Power BI.
Okay, so after this, like also, can I also directly opt for the macros in VBA
Yeah.
course?
Yes, you can. There are
Okay.
two. There are
So
two.
it'll not be like a lot of difference, right? I mean, it won't be like I'm not understanding anything or anything, right?
No. See, that is why it has been designed.
Okay.
Macro is nothing but it is meant with the for the people who are the non-programmers of Excel, how to do the programming. So it is not a
Okay.
difficult task, but only thing is you have to practice because
Okay.
you will learn how to design the small codes. Then you
Yeah.
have to finally combine all these things to automate the entire task end to end. So that it will take time to get that much of expertise. You will get time, but
Mhm.
you will be, I mean, you must have the basic knowledge of macro, like how to designing the module window, how to create the coding, how to go for looping of the function, how to go for your multiple occurrence of the data presentations or multiple checks, how to design your own form controls, how to consolidate the multiple Excel workbook or worksheet without opening the files, just receiving the files in your folder. There's a lot of things. I mean, you're going to learn there.
Okay, so these things we learn there. It's not like we need to learn this and then only opt for that.
Yeah, I would suggest if you are having a good knowledge in Excel, it will be easy for
Okay.
you to pick up the things in Excel VBA or Power BI. Because that is what my recommendation, since you are going to invest your money and time. If you do not
Mhm.
have a proper directions to learn, then you will be again facing a trouble and you will be bit sitting in the back seat. And since we are
Yeah.
working in a group, I have to ensure that all are in equal page. So this is the reason why I make it mandatory as a prerequisite. If you are going for Excel VBA or Power BI, Excel knowledge is must.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Got it, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, even basic Excel knowledge is fine, right? I mean, it should
No.
not be like not like too advanced or anything. If somewhere in between also is okay.
I will say one thing in one line. If you have attended our advanced Excel training program, you can
Okay.
directly nominate for Excel VBA or Power BI
Okay,
because
got it.
I know your potential, what I have taught you. I know that definitely you may not be well versed with all the entire 16 hours topic, but at least 50% you have gained that knowledge, right? So it will be easy
Right,
for
sir.
you to pick up the things. So some people,
Okay.
what they believe, I mean, they don't get the direction somewhere. They are inquiring with many more places. Some people they're telling, okay, we'll teach you this, we'll teach you that. Don't worry, join our course directly. But they don't understand whether they are ready for learning Power BI or Excel VBA. But I don't take it that way. First, I ask, I inquire, how good are you in Excel? If they say they show enough confidence, Then I say, okay, you can join.
Okay, sir, got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, people, any other doubts or queries from anybody?